Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. Okay guys, we have Derrick Lewis coming up against Sergey Pavlovich. The first thing that sticks out to me when looking at Sergey Pavlovich is how he punches. He squares his shoulders with his punches and he makes himself a bigger target. His chin is also out there, and that's scary when you're up against the Black Beast, who has the most knockouts in UFC history. Sergey has power, but Lewis is deceptively fast when he explodes into his punches. Now, I will say that Lewis has taken some serious damage in his last few fights. He's lost 2 out of his last 3 fights by TKO or KO. So I am questioning his chin coming into this, and I always question his heart and his grit. He'll take some damage and keep fighting, but when he does get hurt, it seems as though he gets discouraged, and he really just looks for that one big punch. And when he doesn't get that punch, he kind of just shells up until he sees an opening again. Sergey is coming in young for the heavyweights, hungry, and on a 3-fight TKO or KO streak. He does have the momentum on his side, but the Black Beast just needs one, and I don't see Sergey getting a straight-up knockout on Lewis. I could see him hurting Lewis, but it's dangerous when you're following up on our hurt Derrick Lewis. Lewis acts like an injured animal when he's hurt, but you best believe he's still considering swinging big on you when you get too close. If Sergey hurts him and follows up with those squared shoulders that we were discussing, when Lewis is against the cage, look out. Look out. Lewis is a type of fighter who will let someone come forward and he'll look for his big shot, very similar to Tyron Woodley, but he's given up ground and he's losing options as he's backing up, especially since he isn't too much of a sharpshooter or counter striker. When his back is against the cage, he has less options for defense and less room to apply, maybe some feints and get Sergey to make a mistake. He would basically be waiting for Sergey to make a mistake rather than forcing Sergey to make a mistake. Sergey has some decent wrestling, but I don't think it's going to be enough to impose it on Lewis, so I do see this mostly being a fight on the feet. Unless he drops Lewis, then we might see him get on top and look to land some ground and pound. If he does drop Lewis and follows up, I do see him getting the finish, honestly. His ground and pound is vicious. He's really good about finding those shots just behind the ear and taking people out. He's gotten a lot of finishes from people tapping out due to strikes. He's not much of a knockout artist, but he does earn a lot of TKO finishes. Ultimately, though, I'm going to go with Sergey Pavlovich via first-round knockout. It's always risky betting against Lewis, but I think his style is pretty limited, and I think people are developing game plans around his strengths. He's also losing his chin, which means his ability to trade for the knockout is going out the window. Lewis's defense is also just not very strong. He shells up and he turns his back against the cage. And there's a lot of times where he'll be looking away or closing his eyes. Definitely doesn't appreciate being hit. And in the heavyweight division, you have to keep your eyes on your opponent at all times because every fight could be just one punch away from being stopped. I would never be surprised about a knockout from Lewis. He is the knockout king, especially when you consider how squared Sergey keeps his stance during exchanges. It could happen. But yeah, I'm going with Sergey Pavlovich via first-round TKO. He's very aggressive. I see him hurting Lewis, following up on top with that seatbelt position or maybe some back control and landing those big shots behind the ear of Lewis. With that, I'll go ahead and wrap things up. If you like the content we're providing, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you disagree with our picks, make sure to berate us down in the comments below. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you can even follow me personally on Twitter. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.